The Chargers have the worst head coach in the NFL, Brandon Staley. And they're 0-2 right now, and many people are scratching their heads trying to figure out why the Chargers are off to such a slow start. But I'm not surprised. And you really shouldn't be surprised that the Chargers don't have a win yet neither. You want to know why? Because Brandon Staley isn't a good head coach. I had the Chargers going 6-11 this year, and many people hit me up and said I was tripping. They were saying, JT, how can a team this talented win less than 9 games? Coaching. You remember when the Dallas Cowboys were underachieving with Super Bowl caliber rosters in the mid-2010s because of Jason Garrett, the master clapper? He was a bad head coach, and that's why Dallas kept on underperforming. And the Los Angeles Chargers, this is a roster that's more than capable of being able to win a Super Bowl. But the reason why you haven't came close to those expectations is because Brandon Staley isn't a good head coach to live up to having high expectations. People are trying to make so many excuses for Brandon Staley. I don't get why people continue to defend this dude so much. There's literally people out here that are trying to say that Justin Herbert is the reason for the Chargers' shortcoming. Are you blind? Do you watch these games? Justin Herbert is the reason why these fools even have a chance at being able to win these games, because the fucking defense can't get no stops. What you want Justin Herbert to do? Play quarterback and play every other position on defense? Brandon Staley is supposed to be a defensive-minded coach. Is the defense good? No. How is it Justin Herbert's fault that the Tennessee Titans put up 27 on their defense? Ryan Tannehill, the dude who is considered to be washed up, who threw 3 picks against New Orleans in week 1, shredded Brandon Staley's defense. He had 2 touchdowns, no picks, and Tennessee's offense was humming. They had 141 total yards rushing. This is one of the most talented defenses in the NFL that the Chargers have, but it's one of the most disappointing because of being poorly coached by Brandon Staley. Their next 3 games are against the Vikings, the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs, and they're going to tell us a lot about how this season is going to transpire for the Chargers. But I think it's safe to say at this point, Brandon Staley is on his way out. The question is he going to be able to finish the season, or is he going to get let go before the season concludes? This defense is awful. And it doesn't take long to figure out if you have a good head coach or not. If you specialize in something, then that aspect of your team shouldn't be the worst part. The Chargers got Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, Derwin James. They got one of the most talented defenses in the National Football League, and yet they constantly underperform week after week. They got shredded by the Miami Dolphins, and they got shredded by the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are not an explosive offense. You don't see Tennessee put up 27 points every day on a consistent basis. They look good because they were playing against a Brandon Staley coach defense. When you're poorly coached, you get poor results. The Chargers being 0-2 shouldn't shock you. And this team is very well on their way to imploding. It's not Justin Herbert's fault. Justin Herbert is keeping these guys in the games. Don't act like you haven't seen this story before, where the Chargers have had a super talented quarterback who underachieved because he was surrounded by bad coaching. We've seen this play out before with this Chargers franchise. This is a cheap organization that doesn't like to spend a lot of money on big name head coaching hires. Brandon Staley doesn't really have a lot of experience as a head coach. He only was the defensive coordinator of the Rams for 1 season. And we haven't seen an elite defense put on the field yet by Brandon Staley. They're getting shredded and carved up by every single opponent they face, and any team they play is able to do whatever the hell they want to do against that defense. This defense is way too damn talented to be playing at this poor of a level. Joey Bosa, before this season, said he really wants to win. It doesn't look like it. The defense plays terrible. The Chargers 0-2 start should not shock you because they are a poorly coached team with the worst head coach in the NFL. I don't care if they made it to the playoffs last year. Look at the quarterbacks that they played against last year. Most of those dudes were not good. Their best win was against the Dolphins. You got to stop making excuses for being a poorly coached football team if you're a fan of the Chargers. Justin Herbert and this offense are not the reason why you're 0-2. Anytime you're putting up damn near 24, 27 points per game, you should be able to have a winning record. But when you got an awful defense and an awful head coach, this is how you get put in these situations where your offense is balling, but it's not showing up in the win column. The Chargers are going to implode this year. This team won't make it to the playoffs, and they're going to be in the market for a new head coach, and their next head coach may be on the roster. That's a discussion for another day.